Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke.
Moff's bloke Aidan.
Here we are, two of us today.
Here we are.
Why this university is building its own city.
That's pretty cool.
I love the campuses of universities in the USA.
Oh, there's something else, aren't there?
Yeah, I mean we've been to Penn State, I've been to Rutgers.
The thing with like Penn State is it's like we can't really class it as like a city, but it kind of is like because everything in that place is like everything about Penn State.
What was it called? Is it called College Station?
College Station, right?
College Station, something like that.
State College.
State College was it? Yeah.
College Station somewhere else, right?
Can't remember. But
isn't that like Texas A&M or something?
Yeah, but we've been to like a few sort of like areas where we're around college sort of like campuses, and it's and I see some on videos, and I've been to college campuses over here in the UK, and it's very similar, not too dissimilar.
Yeah.
But whenever I go to a college campus in the USA, it always seems very Christmassy for some reason. I always get that like a Christmas vibe. I don't know why. Could go in the middle of summer, get a Christmas vibe.
Interesting.
Yeah, but this is why this university is building its own city.
Wow.
See, I don't know where this is. Let's go.
I have no idea.
American universities often feel like cities of their own. Sometimes that's because the college is the town. Places like Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Ithaca, New York, or Gainesville, Florida. Other times, a campus grows so large it develops its own mini downtown core. Think Arizona State in Tempe, the University of Colorado in Boulder, or the University of Oregon in Eugene. Places like these present a unique phenomenon where the university's presence completely defines the city around it. But what happens when a university grows so big, bigger than it was ever meant to, yet is stifled by the hard limits of politics, geography, and the city's own urban planning constraints? Well, that university builds a brand new city. Over the past decade, San Diego State University has exploded in popularity. Enrollment is now over 37,000, with record high applications, making it the 34th largest school in the country, and by far the most funded campus in the entire California State University system. Research dollars are pouring in, the school's athletic reputation is rising, and everything about SDSU points in one direction: growth. The problem? Its main campus can't. SDSU's main campus is very clearly a product of the GI Bill and the baby boom, with its biggest growth period happening in the 1950s and 1960s. The on-campus architecture certainly shows that, and so does its geography. SDSU sits on a tilted mesa, spectacular for views, but terrible for expansion. The campus is boxed in on all sides. To the north, Interstate 8. To the east, endless mid-century urban sprawl. To the south, much of the same. And to the west, well, yeah. So clearly, SDSU faced a pretty rare challenge. A campus bursting at the seams with apparently nowhere left to build. And that's when the university did something almost no other school in America has ever done. It decided to sprawl, deliberately, buying up land just 2 trolley stops away in San Diego's Mission Valley neighborhood. When the San Diego Chargers left for Los Angeles in 2017, they left behind a massive empty football stadium and a desert of asphalt surrounding it. So a year later, the city asked San Diegans to vote on what they'd most like to see this stadium complex turned into. In 2018, San Diegans rejected a private soccer and retail proposal under Measure E, and instead approved Measure G, a proposal that, at the time, would have seen SDSU buy up all of this land and redevelop it into a dense, mixed-use campus extension with new housing, retail, commercial space, a brand new football stadium, sprawling green spaces, and so much more. And they would call it SDSU Mission Valley. To say the scale of this project is massive would be an understatement. It's nearly as big as SDSU's main campus. It might even be bigger. SDSU's plan divides the land into 4 unique districts: the Stadium District, the Hotel District, the Innovation District, and the Residential District, all stitched together by new bike and pedestrian-friendly streets and a healthy amount of neighborhood green spaces. Instead of just building a new football stadium and calling it a day, SDSU is creating something bigger. A new neighborhood on paper, but the way I see it, this might as well be a new city within the city of San Diego. It will have its own police department, grocery stores, light rail stop, and like I said, it's made up of several distinct districts within a brand new development. Sounds like a city.
We were saying before when we were talking about college football on a different thing, a different platform, but when you look at the colleges like that, they when you put the effort into anything they do in the USA, they go all out, don't they?
Yeah.
They really sort of like make it sort of like full, police
But
department.
look at how nice were them
you know.
like residential areas there.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I mean, I think I've never been to San Diego, but I heard so much good stuff about it.
Yeah.
It's got a really nice climate. It's
Well,
got,
it just looks it, doesn't it?
beaches and everything. It's really supposed to be really pretty, a cool place to go, sort of thing. But imagine building a city in itself and just going, right, we're going to do it as a college or a university. And the amount of money it's going to cost to do this, I'm guessing tax dollars help as well, go towards it. But I guess a lot of it comes from ex-college alumni and things like that who were there. So it's incredible when you can do something like this.
No, I know, right?
To me. Now, SDSU Mission Valley isn't going to be like Ann Arbor or Tuscaloosa. It's not a college town. Though I do think if the project is done right, it should look and feel as much like the main campus as possible, just newer. SDSU's main campus is beautiful. It's listed on both the National Register of Historic Places, as a U.S. Historic District, and as a California Historical Landmark. The pre-war parts of campus are honestly jaw-dropping, and that sense of architectural pride should carry over to SDSU Mission Valley. Alright, so first up is the Stadium District, the only part of SDSU Mission Valley that's been fully built out as of 2025. The old San Diego Stadium came down in 2021, and in its place rose Snapdragon Stadium, which officially opened in August 2022. With a compact 35,000-seat arrangement, it's perfect for what SDSU needs it to be. Big enough for Aztec football, women's pro soccer, a few major concerts throughout the year, and that MLS team the city has been chasing for years. It's far from the oversized concrete behemoth its mid-century predecessor had become. Snapdragon Stadium is the centerpiece of SDSU Mission Valley right now, and the main reason why people visit the site today. For now, the stadium sits surrounded by a sea of surface parking, but that won't last long. These lots are slated to give way to housing, offices, retail, and green space, which we'll cover in depth in just a moment. Just north of the stadium sits what will soon become the Hotel District. It's the smallest of the 4 districts, and as of now is still a surface lot. Eventually though, this will all be redeveloped into a mixed-use hotel complex, complete with 400 rooms, meeting and conference facilities, and ground floor retail. Obviously, this district is mainly meant for traveling football teams, event-goers, and professionals visiting our next research-focused district. It's a necessary addition if SDSU is really committed to making this a national sports destination as well as a livable community for locals. And what's cool is the hotel won't just be another event hotel. San Diego State happens to have one of the nation's top-ranked hospitality and tourism management programs, and the school plans to use the site as something of a living lab, giving students hands-on, on-campus research opportunities at graduate and undergraduate levels. But for most everyone else, this district is just a hotel. And our next district, the Innovation District, is where things really start getting interesting as far as new urbanism is concerned. South of the Stadium District and the Hotel District will be the Innovation District. Today, it too is a parking lot, but by full build-out, it'll hold up to 1.6 million square feet of office and lab space for researchers, startups, and even students. And in July 2025, SDSU announced a
when I saw that hotel before going up, I thought it's a shame they didn't keep the same sort of like architectural structure of what they had on the main campus.
Yeah.
And then when I seen that there, they've got the same arches at the bottom, the lower level, so they kind of have kept a little bit by the looks of it.
Where are they going to put all the parking that they're taking up as well here?
Do they need as much parking though? Because I mean, you probably won't need as much parking as you had when you to go from what was San Diego Chargers Stadium, old probably 100,000. So this is going to 35,000. So you probably won't need as much parking as what you had.
Yeah, that's
true. So you probably still had a lot of people will be living around that area as well. So they'll be walking to the stadium, sort of thing.
Yeah,
or maybe transit to the stadium. Maybe there's not like a public transport getting there as well.
Groundbreaking partnership with San Diego Community College to co-develop a shared STEM academic building here. The Innovation District is being designed to reinvigorate the professional economy in Mission Valley, because recently, biotech and other STEM research facilities have been finding homes closer to the cities of Del Mar and La Jolla, not to mention downtown San Diego as well. It's best to think of the Innovation District as SDSU Mission Valley's downtown core, or central business district. And as this district is going to be mostly made up of offices and labs, plans rightfully include an on-site fitness center and childcare facilities, which is great. I just wish the design leaned more into the district's mixed-use potential. Just imagine ground floor retail spilling out onto the planned promenades and pocket parks. It would make the Innovation District have a much more balanced feel. I just think if there's going to be a bunch of people working here, wouldn't it be nice to have a bunch of lunch options here too? One of the most common complaints I hear about new urbanism is that it can tend to feel pretty lifeless. So adding ground floor life in the form of retail space is one of the best ways to mitigate that problem. That, and building more traditional architecture instead of big squares of steel, glass, and plastic. Though I will say the plans for rooftop greenery on top of the office buildings is an interesting alternative to ground level communal space. I mean, San Diego's geography does make for some killer rooftop views. But from what we know so far about SDSU Mission Valley, most of its retail space looks like it'll be concentrated just across the way, inside the residential district. This is where SDSU Mission Valley really comes together, because great new urbanism doesn't mean much without housing. Planned at around 4,600 homes across 18 mid-rise buildings, the residential district will be a fully mixed-income, mixed-use community, and best of all, it's completely transit-oriented. The San Diego Trolley's Stadium Station is literally at its doorstep, and that matters. For decades, Mission Valley has been nothing but freeways and parking lots. You know, a place you drive through on your way to the mall, but not a place anybody wanted to live in. But that's all been changing in recent years, and people now see Mission Valley as a great, albeit increasingly congested part of town that offers the ease of access to daily amenities, job sites, and at a cheaper price point than San Diego's popular streetcar suburbs closer to the urban core. By anchoring the residential district directly to the Green Line, SDSU is doing something rare for the city of San Diego, making rail transit the backbone of daily life. Students can take the trolley straight to the main campus 2 stops east, residents can ride into downtown without so much as touching a car, and workers in the Innovation District can realistically commute from anywhere the trolley system serves. Another win for the district is that it's not just going to be made up of student dorms or faculty housing. While it does include some of both, most units are deliberately open to the public, with 10% of the units reserved as affordable housing. That's crucial for San Diego, which is one of the most unaffordable rental markets in the country year over year. The ground floors of these residential buildings will add about 95,000 square feet of neighborhood-serving retail. You know, coffee shops, grocery stores, and other daily amenities. What is now an ocean of asphalt will soon become walkable streets lined with urban life, and I really can't wait to see when it's all complete. The first big puzzle piece, Avalon Mission Valley Apartments, broke ground in August 2025, with 621 apartments and a grocery store anchor expected to open by 2028. Avalon alone will account for nearly a third of retail square footage in the district, and it's clearly gearing up to be the neighborhood's centerpiece. But there is a fifth and unofficial district that I myself am creating for the purposes of this video, and I'm calling it the River District. It's basically everything else inside SDSU Mission Valley that we haven't gone over yet within these borders. First, the trolley station itself. Now, MTS's Stadium Station was originally built here in 1997, but as a part of the redevelopment, the station received a fresh, bright red coat of paint, some new signage and markings, and some very welcome beautification. It's certainly the most extravagant looking light rail station I've seen in recent memory, littered with MTS flags and featuring a new green plaza at its entry and exit points. Overall, it's just a really solid station and transition area. And adjacent to the plaza is something called the Make Farm, a 7,500 square foot hyperlocal urban vegetable garden run by the nonprofit Make Projects in partnership with SDSU. The farm offers produce subscriptions and training programs in agriculture, as well as camps and field trip opportunities for students. Now, nestled in between the trolley station and the San Diego River is SDSU Mission Valley's most ambitious and community-facing undertaking, the SDSU Mission Valley River Park. A brand new 34-acre multi-use green space that's part public park, part ecological infrastructure, and part town square. As the university's website puts it, it was built first and foremost as a giant green sponge, a permeable landscape that filters stormwater before it reaches the river, cutting down on flood risk while improving water quality downstream. Native oaks, sycamores, and California poppies have been planted to restore the natural habitat along the riverbank. And moreover, a 2-mile-long hike and bike loop has been built into the park, in effect tying SDSU Mission Valley into the city's broader regional San Diego River Trail. This is great for reinforcing SDSU Mission Valley's own transit-oriented design, not to mention the city's broader car-free mobility network. And underneath the light rail's elevated viaduct, SDSU has filled in the empty shaded space with picnic and ping pong tables, playgrounds, basketball and pickleball courts, and so much more. In some ways, it reminds me a lot of Miami's own underline recreation space in Brickell, where the city built much of the same thing underneath their metro rail and monorail viaduct. It's got two-way bike paths and a ton of community space to enjoy. I really like what the university's done here. So when SDSU Mission Valley is fully built out, it'll have created an entirely new micro-city out of what used to be nothing but an aging football stadium and its parking lots. Call it a mini-city, call it a new neighborhood, call it whatever you want, this is a fantastic way to redevelop the land, and it's already shaping San Diego in positive ways. After visiting the redevelopment site, I am excited for what SDSU Mission Valley is becoming, and you should be too. Definitely check it out if you can, and if you do, take the trolley. But anyway, I'll see you next week.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Looks cool, that.
I'd like to know if anyone knows what the cost is to build that. Because when I look at places and planning around here, what we do in the UK, we've got nothing. We never, very rarely invest in anything that kind of like that in building new I mean, we do regeneration, but it's down to individual investors. So a plot will come up for a block of flats, and an investor will bid on it, and they'll get awarded whatever it comes up to from the investors that go into it.
Yeah.
But that's like one block or one park or whatever it may be. As far as government investment goes, it's kind of like it's all on mass housing now. And when you look at mass housing, the way they build it, it's like just looks like shit.
Yeah.
The architecture of old to what we got. I mean, I get it's going to cost a lot more to build houses how they used to look 100 years ago compared to houses that they build now that takes about 3 days and they're up. Prefabricated stuff that just goes up, but they all look exactly the same. It's like a block of Lego sort of thing, and they all look shit. Windows are tiny. Light coming into the houses is zero. It's just like it's grim living at the end of the day. But that looks absolutely mint. That
it does. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's even the painting on the tram stop. That's all it needs.
Yeah, literally.
A bit of a clean up, lick of paint, some new signs. Flags.
Shame it's red, but
yeah, exactly. But it comes up and it looks brand new.
Yeah,
and it's very welcoming. Green space outside makes you want to use that instead of you go certain stations look a bit intimidating. Sure. But great that what they've done. They built its own city.
Very cool.
Looks mint. Yeah, enjoyed that. Hope you guys did as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.